Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and today I wanted to give you another matchup tips video, and I wanted to talk about Honda. Now I don't know if you know this, but Honda currently holds the highest win rate online. This means that Honda wins the most basically online. And why is that? I think for starter he is a very high damage character. He have a pretty easy game plan to execute. He is not terrible in lag, and you need a good amount of matchup knowledge to deal with his stuff. Like, you need to know what you're doing when you're fighting a Honda. And today I wanted to shed some light on some of that stuff and how you can deal with it. And the very first thing I wanted to talk about is his headbutts. So his headbutts have varying degrees of safety, and they travel differently and have generally different properties. But I think most people don't know how to differentiate between them. How to know which is a light, which is a medium, and which is a heavy. And it's actually a little bit tricky to know because there isn't a very strong visual cue, right? So we will need to rely on hearing for this one. You will need to listen to the voice line and differentiate between them based on the voice line. So this is the light one. He just say Doskoi, and that's it. That is the voice line, Doskoi. Alright, it goes about half screen. It's not terribly fast, but make sure the voice he said Doskoi, right? Now let's look at the medium one. Doskoi. That is the medium. So Doskoi is the light, Doskoi is the medium. Now let's hear the heavy one. Doskoi. That is the heavy one. And I wish there was an easier way to tell which is which, but that's actually how you're supposed to do it. You are supposed to use your ears to know which one he is doing. And they all have varying degrees of safety. So if we just listen to the Doskoi, which is a light, and we'll make him use the light one, you'll see that the light version is -4 on block. So -4 on block, and with the pushback it had, this is pretty safe most of the time. -4 from a range like that, unless you're maybe Sakura or something, most character will have a hard time punishing it, right? The medium on the other hand is -7, so -7 is punishable. And more often than not, from a distance like this, which is a little bit further away, Hondas will do the medium, because the light is kind of have half screen range. It's not terribly fast, so it doesn't make really that much sense to do it from afar, but from a range like that, the medium will reach. See, we are able to block the medium even from like 3/4 screen away. So, and the speed is not too slow, so that is the one that is likely to be done. So how do you deal with it? Well, it's -7, right? So there are two tips here that I can give you. The first is try to block them standing. When you block them standing, there is less pushback on block. So when you block his headbutt standing, there is less pushback on block, so you get an easier punish. Or maybe even like if your character is fast enough, you can make it totally whiff like that. But not everyone is Akuma and have the Akuma walk speed, of course. But generally, if you block them standing, you have less pushback, so you can get an easier punish. Akuma here can punch it with sweep, and I will leave some description on how each character can punish them, right? So the medium is -7 on block, Doskoi, right? That is how you differentiate it, right? So I recommend actually setting Honda to either the English or the Japanese voice, and just practice listening to them and knowing which is which. Right? So now we are going to look at the heavy, and the heavy I believe is -12 on block. -12 on block is pretty bad. That means that you can do a heavy to punish it. And he just say Doskoi like that. That's the most important one. And it's I know it's kind of hilarious to realize that this is how you're supposed to deal with them, but that actually is the reality of the situation. So go to the training mode. Get a good grip on which is which, and check out how you can supposed to punish each of them. The headbutt is one of Honda's key moves because it allows him to bully his way in, basically. And the final one is his EX, and the EX version is hilariously negative on block. His EX have armor, so it will armor through a single hit, but this attack is minus double digits on block. Like, let's see how it is. it is minus 24 on block. So you know what that means? You can dash up and get a full combo on it. So if you ever block this, don't just go for a small punish, don't go for a sweep or something like that. No, you have so much time after blocking. Like, look at how much I delayed it and I still was able to punish it. So just go to the training mode, listen to them, get used to the voice commands, and I will let you now know some of the punishes. I will read some examples after this about some of the characters and how they can punish it. And now we are going to be talking about the Honda Buttslam. Honda's Buttslam is tricky to deal with online because it can hit cross-up. So more often than not, you may not be able. You may get hit by it. It may cross you up. But I think I found something that for some reason it works, and it is what I usually do. And I think I generally have a pretty good track record versus Honda and blocking his Buttslam. So I will show it to you, and maybe if someone is more tech savvy or more understanding of the game's engine, they can explain to me how it works like that. So just hold back, just hold straight back, and I think as Akuma is walking back, I will keep walking back until Akuma will be stuck in place due to proximity block, right? Because as Honda is falling down, the game thinks an attack is coming, so Akuma can't walk backwards anymore. So I get stuck in place. But then at that point, if I hold right or left, I block it anyways. So just look at this. If you look at my inputs, I'm walking until Akuma just can't walk anymore. And if I hold right or left, I am blocking it. So honestly, I don't understand why it works like that. The thing that you have to know about the Buttslam is if he does a cross-up version, if you block it cross-up, you will be able to punish it because it's -4 and Honda's right next to you. Yeah, on the front is still -2, so it's like whatever, you can't get anything. But on a cross up, you always get a punish here. So just hold back, Basically just hold back. And if you want to get a cross up, block the other side and you will get it to cross up. It's like I am manipulating the move. I don't understand why it works. If someone is more tech savvy, please let me know why it works like that. The other big thing with Honda is the EX version. And the EX version is really good because it's much faster. So what we just said is even harder to do because it hits on the way up and it hits on the way down. So this one is a little bit tricky, but I will show you something that I hope will help you. So when you block the EX Buttslam, Honda's +5 at this situation. So after this position, Honda is +5. But he's outside of any move except his forward heavy kick. So what you need to do is, if you crouch block, like let's see, if I block the Buttslam, then I'm crouch blocking his crouching medium punch, I will block his crouching medium punch. But if I stand block, the crouching medium punch whiffs, and this is crucial when you're fighting versus Honda because now he can check you on block. He will have to resort to doing something like hands, but the crouching medium will whiff. So you can do something like this. Now you get a whiff punish on him. So the tips for Honda's Buttslam, just hold back for the regular and you will block it either way. Like hold back until your character is stuck in proximity block, and then no matter which direction you block it, you will get the block. And as for the EX, always stand block after it. Never crouch block because that will make his normal whiffs. Then he will have to do something more risky like a dash or hands. But if he commits to a normal, you get the chance to whiff punish. And now for the final piece of the problematic puzzle, we are going to be talking about the hands special move. Now, hands is light is +2, medium is +1, and heavy is -2. So that's a really important to know. It's important to know these numbers. So how to differentiate between them? Well, the important ones that you need to know which is the heavy. And the heavy have a very obvious block stun and a voice line. Oria, Oria, Oria! Like this is the heavy hands, right? This is -2, so you block the heavy hands and then you take your turn. Right? To block heavy hands, he's -2. Now it's your turn to attack. This is pretty obvious and pretty easy. Now, the problematic ones are the light. The light in particular are the most problematic ones. Because I'm sure we all been through something like this. Right? When you are trying to do something and but he's constantly attacking, you try to jump maybe, but then you're getting hit. So what is the best way to deal with that situation? The light hand is +2 on block. Now what you need to understand is Honda doesn't have a 3 frame, so his +2 doesn't really matter because he doesn't have a 3 frame. So now we're really talking about the +1, right? And his 4 framer is a light kick is very stubby, it's not that long. So what I would recommend, or the best way to deal with it, is to either challenge, or you can maybe, if you want a safer option, you can try to backdash. A backdash will get you out of that. So, because he doesn't have anything that will hit you grounded, that doesn't have a massive risk to it. If he tries to stop you there, he will have to do either like a heavy, or have to do a forward heavy kick, or to have a headbutt. He will have to do something that you will be able to punish. Or he can do an EX Buttslam, and that is the second piece of the puzzle. Because if you try to backdash there, the EX Buttslam hits you. So, not only is it +2, if you try to challenge, so after he blocks the hand, he's +2. You can try to backdash, don't try to jump. If you try to jump, the next hand will always hit you. So maybe try to backdash, but the EX Buttslam will catch the backdash. And then we'll have to link what we learned before regarding the Buttslam. One very important thing is to know your individual character options. Because someone like Akuma here, this is your opening. This is your safe opening to get something at Honda. Now this is your punish opportunity. So this will require some patience from your part, and you will have to make a critical choice. My advice versus Honda and the hand pressure, look for the opening, because he can't keep doing it forever. It's +2, so but he doesn't have any terribly fast moves, so it's not a bad idea to attack. But sooner or later he will give you an opening, either with an EX Buttslam that you can parry with someone like Akuma, either try to backdash if he doesn't, or block something with a high risk that he is going to do. Otherwise, if you block the EX, if you block the heavy hands, he is -2, so take your turn. The one final thing that you need to know with Honda is his command grab, because Honda's command grab, it can't be through looped, basically. So if Honda goes and try to throw you, let's have a read. Honda will try to command grab me. If he try to dash forward to command grab me again, yeah, he's not plus there. So you can always match. So after a command grab, check out his dash. Look for the dash and try to eyeball it. It's a 20 frame dash, so you can kinda see it, and it's a set play situation. So after getting thrown by Honda, if he does a dash, just wake up jab and you will be able to beat him out of the next action every single time. So with that, I hope that at least you now have a better understanding of what you're supposed to do versus Honda. It's still kinda hard and tricky in a way, but honestly, this is one of the matchups that the more you play it, the more easier it gets, because you just need to have a good understanding of how to punish his mistakes and look for the openings. And generally, Honda on defense, Honda is not very good. You can always exploit his lack of consistent anti-airs. You can always exploit. He kind of have a dead zone when it comes to anti-air, just like Cody. Like if you jump at him from this distance cross up, he will have very hard time anti-airing that. So just look for the openings, and when you have him down, go hard on him. Like once you knock Honda down, go in hard. because this is your chance versus him. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe or share it. All really helps, and thank you so much for watching.